In the cutthroat world of celebrity spirits, where A-listers slap their names on bottles and cash checks, one man built something different, something real, something worth $3.5 billion. This is the story of how Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson turned tequila into liquid authenticity and changed the rules of celebrity business forever. Before the tequila, before Hollywood, before the billions, there was the wrestling ring, Madison Square Garden. A young Dwayne Johnson stepped into the WWE arena as Rocky Maivia, a clean-cut third-generation wrestler with a smile that screamed corporate creation. The crowd hated him. "Die, Rocky, die," they chanted. "Rocky sucks." Most wrestlers would have crumbled, most would have quit. But Dwayne Johnson did something radical. He listened. He realized the audience didn't hate him. They hated the fake version WWE had packaged. They could smell the inauthenticity, the forced character, the corporate polish. So he transformed. He became himself, amplified, confident, charismatic, real. He became The Rock, and overnight, the most hated wrestler in WWE became the most beloved. 7-time champion. The biggest draw in sports entertainment history. This lesson, this transformation from rejection to redemption through authenticity, would echo through every business decision he'd make for the next 2 decades. Because The Rock learned something in that wrestling ring that Harvard Business School doesn't teach. People don't connect with perfection. They connect with truth. But before wrestling success, there was rock bottom. 1995, Nashville, Tennessee. Dwayne Johnson had just been cut from the Canadian Football League. His NFL dreams were dead. He had $7 in his pocket and no plan B. That moment became his origin story. Not because of the poverty, but because of the promise he made to himself. "If I ever make it, I'll never forget this feeling. I'll never take shortcuts. I'll earn everything. And I'll be real with people. Always." Most people forget their rock-bottom promises when success arrives. They compromise. They take the easy money. The Rock never forgot. 2017. The Rock had conquered Hollywood. Highest-paid actor, 300 million followers, a global phenomenon. And every celebrity was launching a tequila brand. George Clooney had sold Casamigos for $1 billion. But The Rock remembered that parking lot, that promise. He decided to do things differently. While filming Jumanji, he started visiting tequila distilleries in Mexico, not for photo ops, not for Instagram, but to understand, to learn, to connect with the jimadores, the farmers who harvested blue agave by hand. For 18 months, he disappeared into the highlands of Jalisco. He worked alongside jimadores in the blazing sun. He studied fermentation. He tasted hundreds of batches. He slept in small towns where nobody cared about his movies. They only cared if he respected their craft. It was wrestling training all over again. The same discipline, the same obsessive dedication, the same refusal to take shortcuts. His business partners thought he was crazy. He invested his own money, millions of it, not venture capital, his money, his risk. Just like when he left wrestling for Hollywood with no safety net. He refused to compromise on quality, even when it meant higher costs. Even when his accountants warned him the numbers didn't make sense. "Make it great," he told his team. "Make it something I'd actually drink with my family. Something those jimadores in Jalisco would be proud of." This wasn't a celebrity endorsement. This was a partnership, a promise. March 2020. The worst possible time to launch anything. The world was shutting down. Bars closing, restaurants empty, the entire spirits industry in free fall. And The Rock launched Teremana. His team begged him to delay. Wait for the pandemic to pass. This is financial suicide. But The Rock saw something they didn't. Millions of people stuck at home, scrolling social media, craving connection, craving authenticity in an uncertain world. Within weeks, something impossible happened. They sold out, completely, distributors begging for bottles. People driving hours to find it. Waitlists hitting tens of thousands. But here's what's shocking. The Rock hadn't spent $1 on traditional advertising. Just authenticity. Every night at 11 p.m., after 15-hour film days, The Rock would pull out his phone, not to post polished ads, but to share raw, genuine moments. Him making margaritas with his daughters, toasting his crew, telling stories about the jimadores, mentioning them by name, sharing their families' histories, videos from the distillery at 5 a.m., before makeup, before Hollywood magic. Just a guy in a t-shirt, genuinely excited about what he was building. 300 million followers watched, and they believed him. Because they'd watched him build it. They'd seen the journey. They knew it was real. They remembered the wrestler who turned rejection into redemption, the actor who refused to quit. In year one, Teremana sold 300,000 cases, unheard of for a pandemic launch. In year two, 600,000 cases. By year three, they were the fastest-growing spirits brand in history, outselling competitors who'd been in the market for decades. Industry experts were baffled. How did a newcomer dominate a saturated market with zero traditional advertising? The answer was always hiding in plain sight. The Rock had done exactly what he'd done in wrestling, exactly what he'd done in Hollywood. He'd been undeniably, unapologetically himself. But success attracts scrutiny. In 2022, the whispers started. Competitors launched investigations. Industry bloggers asked questions. Was Teremana really different? Or just another celebrity cash grab with better marketing? Here's what they found. The Rock had genuinely built relationships with Jalisco's farming community. He'd invested in sustainable agave farming. He paid jimadores above market wages, significantly above. He'd created profit-sharing programs. He visited the distillery regularly, unannounced. He knew the workers' names, their children's names. But the biggest revelation shocked everyone. The Rock had turned down multiple acquisition offers worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Diageo, the company that bought Casamigos, had offered him a fortune. He refused. But The Rock wasn't building Teremana to flip it. He was building it to last, to mean something, to honor the jimadores who'd welcomed him. This isn't about the exit, he told his team, echoing the determination he'd shown in that wrestling ring. This is about the legacy. And that decision, that refusal to compromise, is what made Teremana priceless. By 2023, the brand was valued at $3.5 billion. Not because The Rock wanted to sell, but because he wouldn't. The wrestling lesson had come full circle. When you're genuinely yourself, when you refuse to sell out, people don't just buy your product, they believe in your mission. So what can entrepreneurs learn from The Rock's tequila revolution? Here's what Billionaire's Playbook has discovered. First, authenticity isn't a marketing strategy, it's a business model. The Rock didn't fake connection with tequila culture, he immersed himself in it. He earned the right to tell the story. Most celebrity brands fail because they're transactions, not transformations. Second, your personal brand is your most valuable asset. Protect it. The Rock could have launched cheap tequila and made quick money, but he knew one bad product would damage everything he'd built over 25 years. From wrestling to movies to business, reputation takes decades to build and seconds to destroy. Quality wasn't optional, it was survival. Third, the audience knows when you're lying. In the age of social media, every claim is fact-checked. The Rock's followers believed in Teremana because they'd watched him build it, the same way they'd watched him transform from Rocky Maivia to The Rock, from wrestler to movie star. Transparency created trust. Trust created sales. Fourth, success requires sacrifice. The easy path was licensing his name. Instead, The Rock risked his capital, spent years in Mexican highlands, worked when everyone said it was impossible. He did the hard thing. Just like in that wrestling ring, grinding through injuries and setbacks to become champion. But perhaps the deepest lesson is this. Your origin story isn't just your past, it's your compass. That moment in Nashville with $7, that promise to stay real, those weren't just memories. They were The Rock's North Star. Every time he was tempted to take a shortcut with Teremana, he remembered that parking lot. Every time someone told him to compromise, he remembered the crowd booing until he became authentically himself. Your lowest moment can become your greatest advantage if you let it teach you, not define you. Today, Teremana isn't just a tequila brand. It's proof that celebrity businesses can be built on substance, not smoke. That you can honor tradition while building something new. That people will reward truth in a marketplace of lies. From $7 in his pocket to being booed out of wrestling rings, from Hollywood rejection to the highest paid actor, from zero spirits experience to a $3.5 billion empire. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson transformed every game by refusing to play it like everyone else. He didn't just build a brand, he built a movement. A movement that proves the most powerful business strategy isn't manipulation or celebrity or cutting corners. It's being undeniably, authentically yourself. The people's champion built the people's tequila, and the world raised a glass. This has been Billionaire's Playbook, where we uncover the untold stories behind the world's greatest business empires. The Rock's journey from wrestling rejection to tequila revolution proves that your setbacks aren't stopping points. They're setups for something greater. Subscribe to Billionaire's Playbook for more untold stories of business empires. Because the next billion-dollar idea might just be hiding in your story, in your struggle, in your refusal to give up. Your $7 moment is waiting to become your billion-dollar legacy.